Welcome back, everybody. Corporate Review. We're still at Harmon Becker, and I'm still with Chris, and we're in one of the labs in the back. You can probably hear a little bit of the noise, but before we talk a little bit about this, we sort of finished that last segment talking about the workforce, and what we really didn't touch on is, since you've already got a facility in Farmington Hills, which is really literally a mile away, the other building, why did you pick Novi?
Well, I think one of the reasons why we picked Novi is one, like you just mentioned, the proximity to the Farmington Hills facility. On 12 Mile, we have a tech center.
Right.
That's our electronic side of the business, and we wanted to find a home in the area for the acoustic side, and the city of Novi obviously made it worth our while to be a part of their community, and along with our landlord that we have in 12 Mile, we were able to find an appropriate facility here that can really showcase the acoustic side of our business.
And we're over here on Cabot Drive, certainly a family of different high technology firms and other businesses here. Let's talk globally about Harmon Becker with workforce and whatnot that's been going on. We talked a little bit earlier about some different areas have been done for consolidating.
Right.
Is that based on, is that driven by economy or some other factors?
Well, it's driven by what makes sense for the business, consolidating a lot of what we have to a common location. For example, here, and this is the Advanced Manufacturing Engineering, we call it Pilot Factory.
Right.
And in this location, we actually consolidated our labs from Northridge, California, as well as Martinsville, Indiana, into this facility. So we're able to do both the acoustic side as well as the electronic side with respect to Pilot Factory. Which that basically means is we're able to define our manufacturing processes in here before it goes to the manufacturing sites to be produced.
Okay.
So we all have it under one roof now, which is helpful.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure going back and forth makes it a lot easier from Farmington Hills to Novi.
Exactly.
Talk a little bit more in specifics of what's going on in this lab.
So a lot of what they're doing here is, we call it Advanced Manufacturing Engineering. So what they're doing here is they are basically testing the product before it goes to our manufacturing site to be produced.
Okay.
So they're checking to make sure it's designed appropriately, that it obviously goes through our manufacturing systems appropriately. So there's opportunities to tweak those things before it actually goes to the manufacturing site to be produced for the customer.
Okay. Now there's a couple of areas too that are under development, and we kind of walked and looked at a few different labs that are sort of in construction.
Right.
Talk about some of those. What other type of testing are you looking to do in this facility?
What we want to make this as well as a showcase for our customers, right? So they can come in here, and we're right now constructing an audio reference room.
Okay.
And that's a place almost like a little home theater.
Sure.
Where next to it will be a car lab, where we can take the customer in a car lab, show them our system, they get to hear our system, then they can go into kind of the more audio reference room, home theater type arrangement, where they can listen to the system in that venue as well. So they can see it in both venues and kind of see truly how our systems work and how they sound.
Now you talked about that virtual home theater concept, and I know I have a Harman surround sound in my house. Talk about maybe for residents that may not recognize the components in the car, what types of things can they purchase on the outside that they would be familiar with?
One of the things, I know we focused on automotive here, but one of the other divisions within Harman International is the consumer side, which is for the residents, for the consumers, and the professional side, which are things like, if I talk about professional, I'm talking about speakers that are in sports arenas, in music theaters, and
recording studios.
Exactly, recording studios. And then on the consumer side, where people can go out and buy our products like Harman Kardon receivers, JBL speakers, Infinity speakers. So there's a full range of products, both in the automotive, professional, and consumer side.
And I've used a lot of the JBL equipment, and I know the quality of that is absolutely superb. And just seems like you have your mark on a lot of different items. 5 years down the road, where do you guys see yourselves being?
Well, I think we want to continue to grow, obviously, on our business, right? And the automotive side, and like I mentioned, some of the technologies we're coming out with, and we're trying to get ahead of the competition, like we talked about the green technology that we're looking at as well. So we're really trying to get ourselves down the road where we're continuing to grow and using our brand as really the landmark of what we're all about. Because I think people really associate with the branding, JBL, Infinity, Harman Kardon, People associate with that, and they know the quality of it is, and the high, the premium sound that it provides. I think that'll continue to drive, the brand will continue to drive where we go in the future.
Is the brand more popular on the consumer side, or the other side, the auto side of it? Or?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I think, with some of our customers, they certainly use our brand as a means to promote their vehicles.
Right.
You'll see JBL, you'll see Mark Levinson.
Yeah.
You'll see Infinity as well. So it really, I can't really tell you where it's more prevalent.
Okay, probably pretty equally across the board. Very interesting. Our city manager, Clay Pearson, has been to Germany and certainly met with the folks at Harman Becker. And one thing that he had mentioned I thought was very interesting, not just with Harman Becker, but with a lot of the different firms, is that they're all familiar with Michigan and Novi. It's really on their radar screen. It's something that maybe we take for granted at times, that, well, they may think that this is just a little facility, but there's quite a bit of presence overseas. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think for Novi, I mean, I think they've always been known to have international businesses within their city, right? And you mentioned Germany. In Carlsbad, Germany, we have our I would call them our headquarters from the automotive side in Carlsbad, Germany.
Okay.
So, I think there's always that connection in Novi with international companies, and I think that's something that's, I think, important to Novi.
Definitely.
It's important to us when we were looking for a site to know that there's other, Germany companies or Japanese companies that are in the area. So there's some common cultural things going on as well.
When you talk of international companies, does Harman Becker partner with any other local type international firms to get the product going?
No, pretty much Harman, being part of Harman itself,
self-sufficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a website that people can go to learn a little bit more about Harman Becker?
Yeah, I think the best website to go to is www.harman.com.
Right.
And that'll show them not only the automotive side, but the professional and consumer side as well.
I have to tell you, before we end the show, because I've been very cognizant lately, if you say the www dot something, that ages you and talks, I do it myself, but we did a previous show where I had said www.
They already know that stuff.
They say, you already know it, you don't need to do that part. So, Chris, thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
And with that, we've wrapped it up here with Harman Becker. Chris has given us a wonderful tour of the facility, certainly gave you the website. I'm going to give you another website to go to, investnovi.org. I think I got it right this time. So with that, I'm Ara Tapuzian. Thank you. Come again. Get more popcorn to watch the next show on Channel 13. Bye now.